And here we are. Thanks for bearing with. I was trying to do a setup on the desk where, well, where I could actually have it pointing down toward me just like actual streamers do. Unfortunately, I need to get a longer cable, which, shouldn't be that hard. But welcome back to the stream. It's good to see you again. And I'm going to be picking up right where we left off with the Dr. Squatch line of soaps. In fact, I actually think, if memory serves, we were finished with the first commercial at the end of the last stream, or at least we were close to it. So this is going to be a stream in which we should be tackling the second commercial, which will have some brand new material on the block, and I can't wait to get to that. I've got a whole plethora of ideas that I still have to apply from you. My gosh, every single one of these streams, I feel like there's so much that can be done, and I don't even know if there's going to be. I don't even know what to expect from the second ad, but it's probably going to take up another page or so, given that it's roughly the same length. I mean, these are really long ads. Again, they were intended for YouTube, so I have no idea what kind of magic we can expect. So welcome to the stream. My cordless mouse has been having connection issues. Well, first off, Super Poindexter, welcome to the stream. And yeah, that's something I always have trouble with every now and again with my, Logitech is a brand that I've been using for years. I had a gaming mouse before this one, and I just switched to a regular old mouse because I didn't really use any of the extra features. But one thing I will say is that if you do have a Logitech just like me, ask them for a brand new one, see if you have a warranty. They are really generous with that kind of thing. And on top of that, they're going to be really good as far as, just quality-wise. I mean, I can move the cursor around, no problem. So that's hopefully something you can get sorted out. I really thank you so much for joining the stream nonetheless. Hey, I hope you've been having a wonderful week so far as well. So here we go. I think that this is the no. This is a brand new commercial. This is the brand new one. Yeah, because the tail end of the first commercial ended with anytime Super Mega Poindexter. The first one, I think we ended on an attempt to try and get Haruhi's hand, Haruhi onto a body pillow and having her being given. Hey, the lunge fish of Krispy Kreme. What is going down? Coming back to this channel to see the SpongeBob YouTube poop 12 years ago and having childhood memories of Gary saying black dynamite. Wow. Well, first off, thank you so much for joining Mr. Krispy Kreme. I'm so glad that you have found the channel again. I remember that poop, actually, the only SpongeBob YouTube poop that Viacom can't remove. And I really can't believe that no one has really tackled the source. Not a lot of people have tackled the source. It's full of amazing material in there. Such like what I showed you. Like, I didn't edit a whole lot of the the in-game cutscenes as far as no pinches or punches, no swirl effects like you see, because the cutscenes were so weirdly modeled that they were they just needed to be seen to be believed. Like the face that Squidward says when he says, cheese, it just sells itself. I mean, you don't really have to do very much except just slowly add on to it. But I love that YouTube poop. I think that, I'm so glad that it actually had a meme made out of it as well. Like, you piece of shit. So, thank you so much for joining. We're tackling Dr. Squatch ads in this live stream. We've done quite a bit in the prior live streams, and I hope that you get the chance to participate in this. So good to see you, Mr. Krispy Kreme. So let me just make sure the volume's at the right level. Hey, Digi Maze here. Welcome, Hercules Maze. Actually, you know what? That actually reminds me. I don't think I've ever used Billy Mays in a YouTube poop before. So maybe I should practice on some Billy Mays material. I know that the Billy Mays stuff is timeless, so that would be a fantastic thing to do. Let's see what we got.
For you to get the right tool for the job, because you're worth it, my friend.
Yeah, that's right. The last joke we made, we just mixed in tools and the like. So this is something that... This is kind of like uncharted territory for a little bit.
For the job, because you're worth it, my friend. We ship it right to your door.
And this is just, ever since the dawn of man, the words shit and ship have been mistaken for each other.
We ship it. We ship it.
Would be epic if you give Billy Mays sources a go sometimes. Absolutely. There is actually a whole bunch of sources that I have not used before that I've been intending to use. I've never used I Am Mean. I've only maybe used a hair of Michael Rosen. I felt the reason I really never touched those two sources is because when they got hot, so to say, in 2009, 2010, I was working on other stuff, and by the time I was ready to tackle them, I felt like all the jokes were already made. But maybe a fresh set of eyes or maybe some kind of new perspective would really help, because I know that they're wonderful sources. I think The Thing's made a Michael Rosen poop recently. I haven't had the chance to check it out yet, but I gotta check it out. But I love it though when I can find sources that feel almost like they've been untouched, like it's gold that you've been prospected. We ship shit right to your door. Easy as that, yeah.
We ship it right to your door.
Yeah, and we can just put a nice little a poop or something like that right there on the box. Whoops, I did a mute section. So let's get that. Let's make that the first edit we do. And we're gonna tug into our masking here. Tug into the masking. So let's plop it on the timeline right here. We ship shit right to your door. Again, easy things, easy material is sometimes the best thing to do. So if it's obvious, go right for it, especially if it's a source that not a lot of people have used. So let's get, should we use a poo emoji? Ooh, better yet, let's use the emoji movie poo emoji. I don't know, I see the poop emoji gets used a lot, but I feel like the poop emoji is something that I don't see all that often, which this pose right here is what I was looking for. Have you ever seen the Emoji Movie, by the way? I saw it on a flight, and I thought it was, it wasn't, terrible, to say the least, but, I mean, it got a lot of hate. Maybe a little bit for a good reason. I don't know. Remains to be seen, but I didn't think it was bad. And I really do think it's, bad YouTube poop source material if you can manage it. We can use the reship it as a joke and have two guys in the commercial together. Yes, the king has to be a part of this. I'm proud to say I have not seen the Emoji Movie. Like shipping people in a relationship. Yes, like that. If you have not seen the Emoji Movie, you're not going to be missing out on something that is bad. Like I said, if you're young, maybe it's passable. Like, you can probably see some kids enjoying this, but if you look at it cynically, it's really terrible. Excuse me. Like, oh god, this is so pixely. Forgive me, before this stream I was eating some wasabi edamame. So, yeah, I mean, it's not, I guess it's not terrible if you're a kid, but, you don't want to really give it any Oscar nominations or something like that. Never saw Emoji Movie either myself. Didn't it kill the way better Popeye movie? So there's a story behind that. The Popeye movie did have a, I guess for lack of a better word, there was animation that was done on it, and it looked really good. I mean, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Gennady Tatarovsky or something like that. Creator of the Powerpuff Girls, has worked with Sony Animation, made Hotel Transylvania. Really, really good when it comes to animation. The guy knows his stuff. And I think he's married to Lauren Faust. Could be wrong. But the Emoji Movie was done, yeah, it was meant to be, I guess, in place of the Popeye movie. I guess the studio executives didn't see it as big a winner, or maybe there was something else in development. But how do you say no to a Popeye movie is what I'm curious about. I mean, forget about the fact that they replaced it with the Emoji Movie. I'm sure that the Emoji Movie was already in the pipeline. But the Popeye movie, they must have had like a ton of expectations that maybe they just knew that they weren't going to be able to fulfill, so they played it safe. I mean, either way, yeah, it did kind of replace that movie. Jenna D made, yes, Samurai Jack, and okay, Craig McCracken made Powerpuff Girls. Thank you. For some odd reason, I thought that the shows were done by Jenna D. Did he also did Jenna D also do Dexter's Lab? I mean, I'm not going to look him up right now. Why not? Whoops, wrong web browser. Let me just pop this open. Jenna D. Tartarovsky. Yeah, what you're seeing here is just something I'm going to close. So, Jendi, excuse me. Wow, I'm pronouncing it very wrong. No, he did create the Powerpuff Girls. He was also responsible for Dexter's Lab, Samurai Jack, and a couple of other things. Wow. Unicorn Warriors Eternal. I've never heard of that. That looks interesting. Okay. I think what makes people angry about the Emoji Movie is just it feels so soulless and corporate. It was like it was, yes, supposed to be the most relatable ever in a boardroom meeting. I completely agree. I think that's really where the fire and brimstone came from, because on paper maybe you can make it work. It's just that you're making it out of emojis, which nobody really cares about. I mean, they don't have characters, they don't have a show, they're not branded even. They're just emojis. And I think that maybe there was also, like, looking at it a little bit more cynically, maybe the people who were responsible for those decisions didn't understand that emojis were just a means to an end, because that's really how I see them. Like, if I want to convey laughing or convey poop, I just pull in an emoji. I mean, it's like the emoticons, which they're funny enough. There is actually a pretty funny joke in that movie about emoticons, and they, they were pretty much ushered out in well, not ushered out, but they're the old emojis, and it's pretty clever. But yeah, I think that the only way you can really look at that movie is cynically, because there's just no rhyme or reason for it to exist. Like, I don't even know who it's for. Even the trailer, they had like a teaser trailer for it that was just the meh emoji saying, hey, there's an emoji movie. Yay, you can bring the family. Doesn't have to be your family. And like that. It just felt like it was very low effort. And on top of that, nothing about the plot really came out until, I guess, the second trailer, where they showed the princess and all that. I guess it's just a matter of, people who thought that emojis were something bigger than what they were. But oddly enough, it went to number 2 in the box office on its debut. I forget, it was August. There was another movie out at the time that topped it, no surprise. But it did make a lot of money. So if we were looking at movies as an investment or return on investment, the Emoji Movie did good for Sony. And I think that a lot of it had to do with the sheer fact that so many people were hating on it that they had to see it. So there is a success story in there somewhere. I think maybe in a sense, maybe Sony was banking on that too. I mean, maybe they knew that the Emoji Movie was going to be crap, pun intended, and it just became that. I'm sure that studio executives who didn't have the power knew what they were getting into, but they decided that they were along for a ride. They're going to laugh at the schadenfreude that the internet dispenses. It's kind of fascinating, though. I mean, it's too stupid for me to hate, like, the concept. I mean, like I said, it's not a bad movie. It's just, you can't really look at it and think that they had a good idea from the start. So we're working on some masking here. This is going to be some quick masking that will make the poo look like it was taken out of the mailbox. Shouldn't take, yeah. It's just a simple mask that overlays, and then I'm going to have the piece of poo here, or the Patrick Stewart poo. I can't believe they got Patrick Stewart on it. I guess Patrick Stewart just thought, oh, it's a roll. I'll take it for the money. Everyone's got a roll like that. Let's see. This is not a good. Let's see what's happening here. Does the camera move? Does it pan? A little bit. So let's see. Go right here and then analyze where the mask is at this point in time. Yep. I just have to shift the mask a little bit to the right. Perfect. So after that, does the mask... Yeah, the mask isn't really needed, so I can just keep it right there. So the poo emoji comes out of the mailbox like so. So we'll see. I'll move this back a little bit. Looks like it's not going to shrink anymore. That's okay. So if it ain't going to shrink anymore, then let's focus on what we can control here. So this is where it is. And we'll just establish an anchor there. And then we're just going to go through each frame, or maybe we could just skip to the beginning frames. Right there. Nice. Okay, it's mostly consistent. That's fine. The next frame, we just pull the poo over to the box. Because the box doesn't grow inside. He doesn't put it closer or further away from the camera. It's just... it's staying in his hands roughly the same size. Maybe I can add a blur effect to the poo emoji to go with the fact that the camera and effects work. It's not... you know, it's got some motion blur here, so adding that to this poo will be really good to do. Adding it to the poo would be really good to do. I'm a poet. But yeah, an idea I thought of almost right after the stream last weekend. It'd give Kim Jong-un blushing go. Oh god, yes. There we go. So I'm going to add the kawaii cheeks to Un. Nice thinking, Hercules. To Kim Jong-un. We'll do that right after this masking spell and effects spell for that matter. Nice idea. Okay. He pulls this to his hand. Man, if this is a... there we go. We ship shit right to your door. I wonder if we can have it replaying over and over again with the King's sound. I can't stop thinking of Disney's Hercules. That's a great movie. Funny enough, I never saw Hercules in full when I was a kid. I only saw it in pieces, but from what I was able to see, it was extremely different from almost all the other Disney musicals. I didn't know what to think. I was used to the more, the less snappy song and dances and the more Beauty and the Beast style, but when I kind of grew older, I began to appreciate the movie a lot more. It is a really good Disney film, and I would argue maybe it's a little bit underrated because when people think about the Disney Renaissance, they think about movies like Beauty and the Beast, like The Little Mermaid, The Lion King. Hercules doesn't come up as often, but has some great songs. And there are a lot of really good voice actors in there. The voice actor for Hades is fantastic. So, I don't blame you for thinking about Hercules. In fact, I actually wonder if Hercules would make a good Disney musical. It has the energy of a lot of today's musicals. I mean, you put Frozen on Broadway, you put Aladdin on Broadway. It's great to put on and just do chores. Yeah, I mean, it could be a great background movie. It can even be something that you just, watch for a good laugh. It's really funny. And there aren't a lot of Disney movies that, you can say that about. A lot of Disney movies that try to be funny, with very few exceptions, just don't do it that often. But Hercules is really good. Like, everybody's committed. Everyone knows what the mission of the movie is. It's fantastic. Maybe you can hear ship, ship, ship growing louder before the king appears out of the mailbox after the poo is pulled out. Oh, yeah, and Hades, yes. And Hades' voice is so unique for a villain. I love it. Yeah, so... first, the ship idea. That would be oh man, I'm not saying that I'm lazy here, but that would be a ton of extra masking. But I do like the idea of incorporating the king. Again, this guy looks like the king, so there's got to be something that we can do with that. Especially since he's saying ship. He's saying ship. He is the king. He is the son of the king, and he is out there selling soap instead of running the kingdom. What the hell is happening? But yeah, Hades is a wonderful voice. Like, as far as Disney villains, I mean, you always have this, like, they could be flamboyant, they can be really proud of themselves, and Hades is that. But he is also just he's also just a good time. Like with Gaston, for example, he was also pompous, he was also enjoyable to see on screen, but you didn't really have as much of a good time as when somebody like Hades was on the screen, because Hades is just pure entertainment. Like the little things he does with the smoke and all of the ways that he tricks people. Like, you love seeing a Disney villain done so well. I'll never unhear Lance saying Captain Man whenever I see your name, Cap. Glad to see you're still going strong, brother. Thank you so much, El Taconado. Welcome to the stream. I'm glad you were able to hop on. Oh, man. All right. So, Lance saying Captain Man. Oh, man. I'm trying to... Is that the tennis match? Is that the tennis match? Man. The first thing I think of when I hear that is Captain Pan, thank heaven you're here. Deeper cut just won't listen. And I feel like I should know the poop you're talking about, El Taconator. Okay, let's see what we got. Alright, so the poo comes out, and I'll blur it right to about here. So, we'll add a blur effect that softens as time goes on. Blur, blur, blur. Where's our blur? Oh, that's right. It's not going to be up here. I've got to kind of... one thing I really need to do is memorize the order in which all of these effects can be found. I've been doing this. Yes, it was a tennis match. Thank you. Yes, okay. My gosh, sometimes I need a second to... I've made over 200 videos, and I think I'm starting to lose track of where my jokes come from. But thank you so much. I'm glad you loved it. I love hearing about the tennis match. The tennis matches, for that matter. I'm glad you enjoy them, and in the future, I do want to do another tennis match. I just need to, first I want to finish like the log of projects that I've got, or maybe I can turn one of those projects into a tennis match. Here we go, linear blur. So since the box is being pulled out to the side, a horizontal blur. Yes, I absolutely understand. Thank you so much. So the poo comes out, and it is just right there. Now, it does end up like immediately, like it doesn't sort of shape into a poo, it just appears. Let me see if that's a bad thing. Let me just play this. He whips it out. Yeah, that works. It still works. Okay. Now, the face on the box is staying in place for the most part. That's good. So, he is going to say, we ship shit right to your door. Actually, it's really good. Like, some of these little effects matter to me. Here's another idea. What if long hair guy as the king keeps saying shit, shit, shit as a different funny thing falls out of the mailbox, a bomb could fall out. Ooh, that's a good idea. So essentially, because the mailbox door stays open, he doesn't shut it. Or does he shut it? Please tell me he doesn't shut it. Oh, he does shut it. But that still gives us an opportunity to fiddle around with that. Why does he shut the mailbox? What does he do that for? Okay, but it still gives us a thing to play with. Alright, let's see. What's this voice line in full?
We ship it right to your door.
Okay. So let's focus on the we ship shit right to your door first. Then we're going to just add the kawaii cheeks to Kim Jong-un. Then we'll get to some the King additions. Like, there is so much that can be done here. I'm loving it so much. I keep saying that, but I just love how that is the case.
We ship it.
The cool part is he's saying ship it, so we can just take the start of ship and then add it to it, so that it's not the word ship or shit without the consonant at the end.
It right to your door. We ship.
So let's get a little bit of this. Okay. See how it sounds.
Right to you.
Does that sound good?
Shit right to your. We ship it.
Okay, good. This is what I want. Like the P to be pronounced.
Ship it.
And then goes into shit.
We ship a shit right to your door.
That sounds good.
We ship a shit right. Ship a shit.
It's because you have to take a breath when you move from a consonant sound into an SH sound. It's almost natural, so this works.
We ship a shit right to your door.
So let's move this into place. And then, in fact, we can even... To your door. We ship shit right to your door. Oops. Okay, let's stretch this out.
We ship a shit right to your door.
And let's do one thing real quick. I just want to, you know, I'm a big fan of the forward reversals sometimes, but let me see here. What will that look like if he shuts the mailbox? Is there a sound that's accompanying this? There has to be a sound.
The right tool for the job. My friend, we ship it right to your door.
Okay. There's a sound. So just want to do some, you know, classic YouTube poop stuff, just some repeats and reversals real quick while it's fresh in the mind, and then we get to un. Let's get that shrunken. Okay, now let's see how that sounds. Okay, that's good. So he is closing right there. All right, this is just like a little something I do whenever I just want to, you know, I wouldn't call it filler. I think it's just pacing. It also provides good... Yeah, it also provides a good bounce into that next joke. So let's add some... First, let's get to kawaii cheeks. Right there. Kawaii blush cheeks. Looks like I'm taking them from a filter of sorts. Alright. Now, let's make them bigger. Oh, actually, no. I think this is as big as they get. So, contributor Thomas Defner. Why, thank you, Thomas Defner, for these lovely kawaii cheeks. And I'm not able to right-click on them. So, Google. Panic at the dish go. Yeah. I had a hard time coming up with a dish pun until I thought a little bit more out of the box. But welcome, Luna. Thank you so much for joining once again. We've got some classic YouTube goodness coming up. I'm about to add some kawaii cheeks to Kim Jong-un, which can only happen in a YouTube poop or a James Franco movie. So we're going back here. And the head of Will Ferrell is going to move out of the way for this, but let me just add a new, oh my god, this frame, I tell you. Like everything in this frame I love so much. Alright, let's go. Kawaii cheeks. And we can have them fade in on the face, so we've got a great little addition on top of an addition. Like, this is going to be so packed to the brim with edits. I love it. So let's see, a chroma key might be best here. The pink and the white are so similar, but that's not a problem, because with the because with the blushing, you almost want to make it light, like they're just appearing on the skin. They're part of the natural skin, for lack of a better word. I am not good at describing things sometimes. But yeah, it is so cursed. I feel like this entire frame is becoming more and more cursed the more we work on it. I mean, look, we've got Kim Jong-un, we've got Elf, we've got this now. I really have no idea what it's going to end up looking like once all the proposed additions are done, but nonetheless. Alright, let's see. We got chroma key activated, and then it's gonna be really soft. You can barely see them. But then I just work on some thresholds so that they come into view a little bit more. And you've even got a nice white glow. That's so cute. So kawaii. And these little blushes, and like, I love this. He's smiling, so the cheeks are more pronounced. Heck, you could even put them in the eyes if you so desired. You don't have to do the cheeks, but if we're making them blush, then we are gonna put them right on those cheeks. Now, Un is, let's see, I need to find that right placement. Just need to shift these over a little bit. Oh my god. And then a little further down. Right there. Now, you got this guy right here. He's part of a, let's see. So he's part of this one right here. If I move him, what happens if I delete this? Okay, that's the teeth. So that means that I need to make, let's see, should I make it? I'll just make 2 more layers, because I forget what else is on this track. Sometimes I recycle tracks, and that leads to all sorts of jumbled confusion that I don't intend all the time. So with that, let's get this guy on. Alright, let's just pull these 2 down 1 layer. Oh god. Okay. Wow, there's just so much that I have to take into account for these edits. So this is, okay, so that's on top. That just means I have to move him somewhere else, which is all right. So this isn't going to look spectacular at first, but trust me, it's going to be fine. In the end, it is going to be all right. So let's pull him right up. Hang on. We want him on the top. And then these are the teeth that go on him. There's an order to this, I promise you. There we go. And then this, the teeth go right back on him. Oh, those are the elf teeth. So then these are the right teeth, but the elf teeth go up here too. So in that case, see, the tracks pretty much represent the order in which things are stacked on top of each other. So right now, there we go. So now it looks right. The cheeks and the elf isn't getting in the way. When I move this here, it should be all good. I just want to make sure that this is also put in the right spot. So let me pull these down. Pull them down one more level. Then I can put this on top. So now we have, yep, everything is in order. When I hit this frame, the guy from Elf appears. Oh, we gotta reverse that or mix it up a little bit. This is video editing. But you know what? It's fun stuff. Okay, now it's better. So you got the teeth in place on this guy, the blushing cheeks, and then Elf appears, and bada bing, bada boom. Let me save this. I definitely cannot lose progress. This is just such a cursed thing. Alright, moving back to the king in the mailbox. I think that's what we should call him, the king. Or the king junior, or the king's... I don't know. The king's soapy salesman. We've got a whole bunch of things that we can do. So, king keeps saying shit, shit, shit. We can even have, like, if we wanted to continue off of this little forward reverse edit, to your idea, Hercules, I think that we can still have things popping out of the mailbox here. In fact, the king's head coming out and saying shit, shit, shit would be a perfect idea here. So let's get that. I think I've still got the CDI tracks in here. Yes, I do. This is Hectan. There's Link. I think as far as the king frames... Let's see, what's the best frame? Like, his finger's going to get in the way of his face here, but... let's go right before the zoom in. This is the most commonly used king face that I think it is the most commonly used king face. So let's use this one. Let me just go into best mode to make sure I'm not seeing any bleeding here. Nope. No, I'm not. There we go. Pull it back into draft preview mode. And let's get the king to come out of the mailbox and say his lines. So we have named this such. So let's get a mask going. We've done a ton of masking. Like last week, there was so many different things that I needed to mask, and this is another thing. Like I feel like my YouTube hoops are so laden with them, but I'm not one to complain as long as the effects turn out so good. If we can get some more gloriously cursed things here, that would be wonderful. So the king could come out of the mailbox, say some shit lines, and then maybe the tiara appears on this guy's head after that. That's when the audience can put 2 and 2 together or something. Alright, let's get that going. This is a tiara, right? I have no idea what else it's called, but I'm talking about this thing right here. When I look at it, that's what I think. But I feel like there's another name for it. I just don't know what it is, or whether or not people in times of monarchs and kings actually wore something like that. So we've got this being cut. We just want to be very careful because this is a very pixelated image around the edges. If I am off, I can always correct it, but I like to get this right the first time. Let's go here. And then go here. Or like he slowly transforms into the king. Yes, yes. Maybe at the point King Jr. also has elf ears. Oh yeah, the ears. I completely forgot. Yeah, the ears. Like the tiara, like I'm calling it a tiara. What the hell? The tiara appears. The ears appear. Does he have a mustache? If not, I can make the mustache appear. But yeah, that slow transformation during that scene, he's turning into the king. Sure, it wouldn't be that hard anyways, because the ears are, I think, his hair is so long that I think the ears are behind the... They're definitely behind the hair. I don't think that they'd be popping out anytime and ruining the effect. Perfect. A king head. So let's get this going. Now, how much does the camera move? Does it pan often? No, it doesn't. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to this frame, which is not blurred, which is good. And then switching this to full. Mailbox. Mailbox 1. Switch this back to preview in auto. Mailbox 1. Perfect. So it's transitioning right into this image perfectly. I'll add the poo a little bit later so that everything is, remains consistent kind of. But from here, what we can do is get this copied, put it right here, and we'll apply a mask to the mailbox so that way the king actually looks like he's rolling, like his head is rolling out of the mailbox here. This is just a really good angle for that. It's a perfect angle. So first what we need to do is get the right mask going here. Heck, we can even add the bombs. The bombs joke is when we can do... Oh, wait. I wonder. It's just the king's head that rolls out. I wonder if, like, the king sticks his head out, and then when he's done with the ship, it rolls out a little bit more because you've got the door of the mailbox here. It rolls out. It's on the door of the mailbox, and on the back of his head is a fuse, and then we hear the bomb sound effect. All right, let's flirt with that. That is ridiculous, and it might just work. So for this, I need to get a good basic mask right here. It's going to encompass this just fine. And then, when the king's head is added here, see, when I shrink the king's head like so, and I put him right around here, he disappears and appears in the mailbox. Make his head a little bit smaller, just a little bit smaller. Maybe even, let's see. Can I have a mouth? Like, I could probably borrow like a mask of the mouth to make it move and in this pose. So I don't think I want to, so here I don't think I want to roll it out, just have it stick out or come out rather. Then okay, so the king is right here. Then how long does it take for him to get from A to B? Not a lot of time. This is on preview, right? Yes, it is. Okay, so the king's head is in the mailbox. And I believe I do have a fuse green screen somewhere. Like, I've got it. Yes, I do have it. It's in the collection of stuff that I used for the Jonathan Lonathan, because there was a joke early on in that YouTube poop where I had a fuse sticking out of the box of Reynolds wrap. I've still got it. So let's grab that. Excuse me. All right, backup plus. I believe that Jalon, yes, Jalon, burning fuse, just what I needed. Burning fuse. I love it when I can recycle stuff like this. Now we'll need a fuse sound effect as well. We can, or maybe, we'll see. But all right, and maybe even the Ganon die sound effect. So this is the fuse. It's a static fuse, so it's going to roll in accordance with the king. This is ripe for green screening, so let's add a chroma key here. And add the right color. Just like that. And make some adjustments. This fuse, by the way, like I've said in some prior streams, that when you're using a chroma key and it involves fire, you want to avoid the color green because it ruins the fire effect. Here, though, it's going to be so small that you don't notice any problems with that green screen. Instead of a fuse sound effect, just have the Morshu or Morshu saying bombs. Yes, yeah, that's what I was thinking. The bombs sound effect. So let's see. There isn't a sound effect attached to this, so let's see. If I shrink this, how am I looking? When I overlay it, did we create a good enough green screen for it to appear? Yes, we did. Although, what's this? Okay. Why is some of it getting cut off here? Is there a mask that I don't know of? Probably not. Alright. It maybe needs to be a little bigger. Or the fuse just needs to be running down a little sooner than when it starts. Because this whole green screen right here, it's the fuse pretty much going all the way. At least I think it is going all the way, right? Yeah, it is. So we want a shorter fuse. Right about here should do it. And let's cut out the rest. We don't need the rest. Now, the king sticks his head out and he starts saying ship, 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 ship. And then he turns into a king. And then the king's head rolls. Let me just adjust this right. Because this has to stay along with everything else. So the king's head rolls forward. we'll need a movement here. So the king's head going forward just a smidge. Okay, perfect. Now it's gonna go this direction, clockwise, maybe about at the most 45 degrees, I'd say. That is not the right direction, so we want it to go this way. At the most 45 degrees. Okay. Oops. Oh no, that was the right direction. Right the first time. Okay. Let's get this moved in so it's a little bit more on the mailbox door here. Okay. A little bit more. Just a little bit more. I want that angle to be just right. Nice. Okay. Alright, let's move this into position. And when it's angled like this, it always makes it harder with the movements. Like, instead of going left to go right and right to go left, now I have to think about every which way. So actually I might have to temporarily mute this in order to make it a little bit easier for me. So where is the king's head positioned? Here. It's right there. So the king's head's right there. How do we get it from there to there? Okay, I think, okay, we're on to something now. On a side note, I actually respect the CDI Zelda games, even if they're totally terrible. The guy in charge of the games was given basically paperclip for budgets. Oh boy, I did not know that. I mean, I know Philips is a big company, but I didn't think that they wouldn't invest in their game studio unless they completely and sorely underestimated how much money and time it would take to make a game. Oh, but still, I mean, the CDI games, regardless of whether or not you think they're good or bad, they've left a legacy. They've made a mark. So he's got to be proud of that. I mean, he probably poured his blood, sweat, and tears into everything there, and when it didn't sell, probably felt devastated. If he's ever going to some conventions, I bet he'll get a round of applause. Okay. We're getting there. Just a smidge more. That fuse has to appear. Right there. So the king's head before is right here, and that leaves enough room for the fuse to become evident. Although I do need to pick up the head a small bit more. There we are. Right there. That's where I want it. It's probably going to readjust. I'll just put it right back. And then the fuse appears in the back of the head. I'm just so glad the guy, even with all the constraints, didn't abandon the Zelda games. YouTube Poop history would be so different without them. I completely agree. I mean, YouTube Poop, part of the reason that it took off is because the ease of access to the sources. I'll be right back, by the way. Give me un momento. Just need to clear my throat a little bit. I left my Celsius on the table over there. But yeah, the constraints that he had, they must have been a lot. I wonder if they ever did any kind of documentary about them. But he did leave a legacy. It's a fantastic one. And even like I was saying before, sudden charts. Oh dear. That's not what I want from this stream. Welcome, President of Pluto, by the way. Glad to see you made it. But yeah, kind of talking about the legacy he's left. It's really interesting how much YouTube Poop kind of traveled, because people could just go to quebecgamers.com and download that game sample. which had all the cutscenes. After that, I was just plopping it into Windows Movie Maker, and you had yourself something amazing. And by the way, I'm going to keep going. Like, I'm not doing much here. I'm just working on the positioning of all of these elements. So let's get the king to be right about... Let's see, the king's right here when the fuse appears. Let's position the fuse very carefully. Seems to be a sweet spot in any media where innovation and creativity flourish, on the cusp of mass appeal. After that, it's all downhill. Yeah, I think that also there's a... So it's not just that, it's also just a little bit of luck. Like, there's some movies that don't, or some projects, I should say, that sometimes don't get discovered until well after they've been put out there. Like, for example, Among Us. It's one of the greatest memes and a really fun game. It was released in 2018, and it wasn't until the pandemic that it really took off. So for that, I mean, the creators really stuck by their product. They supported it for as long as they could. Whoops. Which I was happy to see. And on top of all that, the game is still very popular today. Sus, exactly. But yeah, 80s comic books, 90s and early 2000s video games. Like, there are probably a lot of video games that are out there that are waiting to get discovered. Or maybe even, waiting for that sweet spot between time and interest to really take off. And what is happening with my fuse? It's not rotating. It'll probably rotate. Okay, let's just leave this be, because this is going to take a while to update, and with all the things that have to go right. But ultimately, we're going to have the king there, the fuse sticking out right there. I agree. When something gets mass appeal, corporate interest gets involved, and the focus turns from making something creative to making a profit, and the creative spark burns out. I really think it also depends on the on what it is exactly. Like, if something was already intended to go long lasting, then oftentimes corporate interests can be just as much as a help, because I've seen some games that wouldn't have been possible without the proper funding or the right backing. And for that reason, I mean, yeah, corporate interests, sometimes they have a design of their own that clashes with the creators. But when it's really good, when it matches perfectly, you don't always hear about it, because you almost always hear about the times that corporate interest rather, comes in and says, hey, this is my project now, you can't own it. If you create a project that is overnight success like Five Nights at Freddy's, do you maintain integrity, or do you milk that with 4 to 5 immediate sequels? So here's the thing about Five Nights at Freddy's. Scott Cawthorn, I think it was after he made the 4th game, put out this RPG version of Five Nights at Freddy's that I believe, again, I'm just going by what I remember, and this was nearly a decade ago. But he put out a game that was very incomplete, from what I understand, and did not last very long, had some problems, had some bugs. And what he did was interesting. He actually took it off of the Steam store and refunded everybody for their purchase if they wanted to refund, putting out a post saying, hey, that he loves what he does, and he did not want to put something out there that people were displeased by or would ruin the experience of the franchise for someone. I mean, regardless of whatever you know about the guy, I don't know too much, but there's something to that. And the guy's all the while he was making all of those games, the Five Nights at Freddy's series, he was still working as I think he was a manager at a Dollar General, he mentioned. I mean, that was a lot of push, and I don't think he ever has to worry about where his next meal comes from, so to say. I don't think he had to really at any point. But the guy took his strengths, well, rather, he took what he had and he turned it into something that was fantastic. Because before Five Nights at Freddy's, his games were not really that good, and the reason is because the character models looked very robotic. He took that and he made Five Nights at Freddy's, the character models looking robotic, but it works in the context of the game. So for that reason, I think that he's done something that I think a lot of people have a hard time doing, analyzing their strengths and thinking about, okay, what can we do with them? Fair enough, honestly. Corporate money is very valuable to projects. It's just that corporate heads, yes, have a common tendency to try and control creativity, which rarely goes well. You're absolutely right. And I think that, there's a movie called Ed Wood where Johnny Depp plays the character Edward D. Wood Jr., who made, what was it called? Plan 9 from Outer Space. And he meets Orson Welles, and Welles talks about how the studio hated Citizen Kane because the studio could not control it. Like, they had no say in what could be done in the movie. And he left with the parting words, "Visions are worth fighting for." My friend Guy Safari loves that movie. He's used it in YouTube Hoops even. And that scene, actually. So that's a fantastic lesson. Visions are worth fighting for. Sometimes a corporation or a corporate stooge, let's just say, is going to interfere. But nowadays, we're getting to the point where that kind of overshadowing, that helicopter style of management, is starting to become less and less apparent. Like, corporations seem to be doing the smart thing and just giving the controls to the people who have it, because most of the time when they do take the controls, it doesn't work so well. Think about the developer of Dusk, who made a solid game and then made a pet project, Iron Lung, and such, about deep sea diving, horror atmosphere. It struck gold again out of luck because of the news. Ooh. I've never heard of that Iron Lung before. Corporate control means chasing trends, so anything creative gets muddied and blends with everything else. What differentiates a popular fantasy and sci-fi story with heavy corporate control now? Yeah, and I think that a lot of it also has to do, like in the video game sphere especially, there are these expectations that you're not just putting out a product, you're putting out a service. So in the case of, for example, EA, we know them for EA Sports. They put out a new game in their sports franchises every year because that is the model that they built for themselves. And at that point, it's become more of a service for them to do that rather than them putting out a product. And they've been doing it since the 90s. So that kind of model can really backfire when you lose focus, or at least the soul of what you're creating. Now, there are some games that don't have that kind of every year timeline. Obviously, you have Mario, you have Zelda. It's not like a new Mario comes out every year or a new Zelda every 3 or 4 years. It's just when it's ready. I do like that Nintendo has that mindset about their games. Like, they're not going to go out if they're not finished. They delayed Animal Crossing for that reason. It just wasn't finished yet. And it worked out to their benefit because when it did come out, it was the pandemic and people needed something to do, so they bought the game. They bought the Switch for the game often. So let me listen to this real quick.
And with a 100% satisfaction guarantee, if it's not the best bar of soap you've ever used, it's on us. Click the link for Dr. Squatch.
Okay, let's take this. Nowadays, by the way, a lot of the creations that, you can call them artists, you can call them designers, a lot of the things that people put out are a lot more grassroots funded nowadays. Undertale, which is one of my all-time favorite games, was a Kickstarter project. Didn't have any backing, at least not that I know of, from a major studio. And I believe that is the same with Deltarune, where Deltarune is in-house. It's not like there's a major financier or something that's... Click the link for Dr. Octopus. Ooh. Let me listen to that again. Let's see if I can pick up on that.
Click the link for Dr. Squatch Natural Soap.
That's a good... Ooh. I could probably do that, President. Nice job. Let me pull this over here. When I went to, by the way, when I went to PAX East back in March, because I was meeting up with Jimmy D. Pooper and some other fantastic creators. I got the chance to play a lot of games from creators that, in many cases, weren't these big budget studios. I mean, you had big budget studios there, like Revolver and Nintendo, but Devolver Digital and Nintendo. But the brunt of games that were there were from smaller indie, I would say, creators who just wanted people to play their game, see how it was, and I fell in love with video games all over again after I went to that convention. It might be the best money I've ever spent at a convention. Well, I don't know. I should say that I got a good Harvey art book. But as far as an experience, that was something. And playing all those games was a lot of fun, especially with the multiplayer games that they had on display. I just remember that in that huge Spider-Man 2 YouTube poop. Yeah, there's definitely going to be a Dr. Octopus somewhere. I much prefer retro gaming, and part of why I prefer it is when you buy a game, that's it. You own it. With modern games, you're paying to get into a sort of amusement park where you keep paying. And I get exactly where you come from, Hercules. So the company where I work, they had a contest last December, and I won an Xbox Series S. Not X, but S. That meant the games all had to be downloaded. I opted for the Game Pass. It just made the most sense, and there were a lot of pretty interesting looking games that I did get the chance to play. But there are a lot of good indie games on that Game Pass, but it does make me feel a little bit, weird, because I love owning my games. All my 3DS games I own, with the exception of whatever I downloaded on the last week that the eShop was up. But it's fantastic when you do have like that chip or that disc, and you can just pop it in. It just brings back a lot of classic memories of me owning, PlayStation 1 games, PlayStation 2 games, and all that. Game Boy games especially. I still have a lot of my Game Boy cartridges. As tech wears out, because it's digital, oftentimes you're going to lose it forever. So there is a big merit to owning games like that. But yeah, indie games are fantastic. Like I said, PAX East made me rediscover my love for those types of games. Like, before that, I wasn't really into side-scrollers, with some exceptions. I felt, okay, well, the future is in 3D worlds, moving from, not just from right to left and up and down, but in a full area of directions. Like, why are studios making more of these side-scrollers? Why is Nintendo making side-scrollers again? And then I got to play some of those indie games, and it wasn't just that they looked great, like 3D pixelated, regardless. They felt great to play. The movement was really good, and I think that part of what I was afraid of was an experience like when you play old games on NES, because NES games were not fine-tuned with great controls. Angry Video Game Nerd will show that to you. Like, you play one LJN game and it just ruins the experience for you. But I think I may have played a lot of those older games, and thinking about those side-scrolling experiences may have left a bad taste in my mouth. So seeing how far controls and controllers have come, and how just industry standards have changed as to how you map buttons and what your expectations are when you map buttons has really made a difference.
Click the link for Dr. Squatch Natural Soap.
He says Dr. Squatch, so that's a great start because is one of the vowel sounds. It's the vowel sound that starts octopus.
Click the link for Dr.
So let's get rid of the S.
Squatch, 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 Squatch.
Now he says Uch. If we can get Uck.
Squatch.
There's something just fun about simplistic games. I grew up long after the NES, Genesis, and Atari, but I enjoy the simple graphics and focus on gameplay. I get that. So one of my favorite games of all time is Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. It was my first Mario game, and I didn't even realize at the time that it was the original NES title, but it controlled really well. And when I realized that, what I was playing was one of the greatest games of all time, it made me feel validated and loving the game even more. I'm cursed that I can't stop organizing my video game list. I never actually game. I've got to get back into games too. This computer that I'm creating on is also the computer I play games on, but I rarely do because it has so little space. But one of my favorite games is Mount & Blade, which is made by an indie studio, a studio in Turkey, Tail Worlds, I think it is, but it's fantastic. It is a game that, it's not a side scroller, it's like a 3D movement game, but it's the kind of game that if you're into medieval warfare, you will love, because it's sword play, it's lances, it's bows, everything, and it's massive armies in combat. That's the kind of experience that I thought games would be able to replicate at this point, and I haven't really seen that except from the studio. The massive 3D games of today can be so overwhelming it almost stops being fun. I get that. I completely get that, because when I look at a game I'll play, give me 1 second. When I look at a game like Grand Theft Auto, I love Grand Theft Auto. And there's so much that has gone into the world, the story, the way that the characters speak, the way the models move. But a lot of the times, the missions just aren't that engaging, because it's you go A to B, and then you do this, maybe have a combat fight, and then you go back from B to A, or something like that. It's something that I notice as a trend in even the most recent one, which is Grand Theft Auto 5. And as I understand, it's also something that's the case in Red Dead Redemption. I haven't played any of the Red Dead games, but one game I'm really interested in, though, is Baldur's Gate. I've been hearing so many good things about that. My little brother loves Mount & Blade. Yes, it is. It's like in my top 5 favorite games of all time. I love this game, and I am serious when I say you have to play it. You'll probably get it cheap on Steam. I like games with clear borders, clear shapes, clear gameplay, no currencies, no constant nagging from the developer to buy. I hear you, my man. I hear you. Yeah, the thing about games like that is that what ruins the experience is oftentimes they're putting like so much stuff behind a paywall. When going back to the 3DS, one game I did play very often was one of the free games, Pokemon Shuffle. And when the eShop was leaving, I was thinking, okay, are they going to are they going to remove all the paywall stuff? Because I think that Pokemon Shuffle was one of the first paywall games that Nintendo put out. No, it still has a paywall, and you can't even pay anymore to get rid of the paywall. It's so stupid. Now you've got a timer that's going to hamper you from everything.
Natural soap.
All right, let's find octopus. OC.
Natural soap. Real soap for real men. Or don't. And continue.
There's. That's a perfect C sound, or K sound, rather. The cool part is there's a T in there. So, let's see. games with no currencies, clear shapes, no gameplay. I mean, there are lots of games that fit that bill. Like, I often turn to the classics. Like, I have the Crash Bandicoot trilogy. I grew up on those games. And I haven't completed the 4th yet because it's so damn hard. But I love that it's so damn hard. It feels like this is the natural growth of the games. Of side-scrollers, I guess. Okay. Now let's get the T sound here. Now, octa. Just need the T. Get rid of this. Oh, there's no President Pluto. A lot of games, especially mobile games, yeah. Yep. Their schedule, their reward limits. That's why I don't play a lot of mobile games, with some exceptions. Let's see. I could probably also get him to say Ocarina, but I don't know what that would do. I consider Half-Life 1 to be the perfect game in terms of engine and user input. You can fully customize the sensitivity and it responds exactly as you want it to your mouse movement. So that's the case with a lot of PC games now. I didn't know that Half-Life 1 pioneered that. That's interesting. I guess it shouldn't surprise me. It was made by Valve, and I know that that game in general revolutionized the computer game experience. And they intuitively figure out how high you can jump, where you can go in the map, what shapes mean what. It's perfectly intuitive. So I mentioned my friend Guy Safari. He's a huge Half-Life 1 fan. I played Half-Life 2 first. They actually, he and Deeper Cut were telling me all about the game, and I played that before I played the original Half-Life, and I did really like it, even the chapters after the fact. So when I played Half-Life 1, it felt simpler, but I was still engaged. In fact, the way that the tension kind of ramps up as you're being chased not just by the aliens, but by the military, and it feels like everything is like oh man, it's like everything has consequences. Let's see, I need to remove this so I can edit the sound a little bit more. A lot of modern games, are invisible walls. Prevent you going outside the path. Yep. I think that the term for that is linearity. And so an open world game that looks open world on the surface in reality is just guiding you from A to B. I guess that's part of the reason why I like Breath of the Wild so much. It doesn't do that. It lets you play the game in whatever order you want. It does guide you, but there's no walls preventing you from straying outside the norm. You can do each dungeon in whatever order you want. You can fight Ganon completely naked and with a stick or something like that. Okay.
Soap.
Oh, let me go back and see if this oct will work as the octa. No. So octo, I think octo would work here.
That's natural soap. Soap.
Perfect. It's got the right level that I want. He says soap, but the P isn't pronounced very sharply. That's good. I swear, one thing I've been wondering is, should I do a gaming stream or some sort of thing? I mean, I've got the camera. I just need to get a better setup. I mean, this setup right here I use because it's all I've got, but I make it work with what I've got. I'd love to play games on stream, though. I mean, there's a backlog that I really do need to play. I haven't even played BioShock yet. And I'm sure as hell I'm not playing TF2 because I absolutely suck at the game.
Octo.
There we go, octopus. Oh, wait, well, we need the puss. Another big frustration I have with modern games are FOMO practices, fear of missing out. Modern games infamously release, oh man, buggy and incomplete games, but they'll pressure you to pre-order anyway with exclusive bonuses. That's, from what I understand, that's what is really making Baldur's Gate stand out so much, because it's not one of those games. It is perfect. It's got so many hours of playability, and everything was so fine-tuned. And I was reading some things on Reddit about how the industry is seeing it as a unicorn, because it is a game that is technically finished. It's a game that doesn't have DLC day one, that is just a piece of the actual game that they separated so that the developers could make more money. God, I've really got to play that game. I'm starting to get into Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm told that this is kind of like Dungeons and Dragons. I'm about to give into FOMO by playing Dota, the Dota 2's anniversary event. I just want the Ursa hat. Man, at least it's a free game. Yeah, that's true. It is a free game. Oh man, I just haven't felt the urge to get into games like Dota, like League of Legends, though, which is weird because the way that they're played is kind of similar to Warcraft, as I understand, like Warcraft Tides of Darkness, not World of Warcraft. But I just haven't felt that urge. I don't know what it is, but hey, it's going strong. And it's fun. All right.
Real soap for real men. Or don't. And continue to be mommy's little helper.
That's a wrap.
All right. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Did he click it yet? Did he click the link? He hasn't clicked the link? I would have when I heard about the dry, sad balls. Oof.
All right. Let's see. There's got to be a put. But it's got to come from here because the volume, the levels, they're just right.
Squatch. Click the link for
Click the link for
Dr. Squatch Natural Soap. Real soap.
Well, he does have a P sound, but it's very faint. I would need to spike it. Yeah, it's basically Warcraft 3 minus base building and most non-hero units. Okay. So essentially, like you click and drag, and you select the character, and you move the character on a map like that, and the character fights whatever's in front of them. It sounds a lot like, yeah, that's pretty much how those games are played. Like they're like real-time strategy games, like StarCraft. That's the impression I always had, and I know that Dota and World of Warcraft were kind of, well, not World of Warcraft, but Dota and League of Legends were born from that format because, because the people who made Warcraft, like fans of the game, kind of took it and did their own things with it. Instead of Squatch, you could have them say Squitch and Squatch. Ooh. Squish and Squatch. Like the word squish is a great mix. That's a great idea. Oh, your hero unit is mostly controlled by default, so less clicking and dragging, but you gotta be quicker. Okay. Oh, I love StarCraft. StarCraft was one of the first games I've ever played. Nice. Yeah, I know that the StarCraft community was really revived after like StarCraft 2. The only reason I haven't played it is because the competitive scene for StarCraft has everything down to a science where you know you're going to win if you do this in the right order. You get these units, get these towers, or so on and so forth. This is just not a good puh sound. He doesn't say puh, does he?
Oh.
Nope. Maybe there's a B sound that I haven't heard in there. But it's, as I understand, like Warcraft is pretty much StarCraft. It's just the setting is different.
Link for Dr. Squatch Natural Soap. Real soap for real men. Or don't. And continue to be.
Alright, so we'll have to take a P from elsewhere, but what we need is a sound.
Click the link for Dr. Squatch Natural Soap. Real soap for real men. Or don't. And continue to be mommy's.
Mommy's.
Mommy's
No, that's not going to work. There's an M sound that's too strong.
Mommy's little helper. All right, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Did he click it yet? Did he click the link? He hasn't clicked the link? I would have when I heard about the dry, sad balls.
Alright, this is tricky. I might have to pull a puh sound from elsewhere, but we can definitely make Dr. Octopus. Let's try Squish and Squash.
For Dr. Squatch now. For Dr.
Dr. Squish. Let's do Dr. Squish and Squash.
For Dr. Squatch. For Dr. Squatch.
Let's see. Okay, let's see.
There's
The K sound.
there's
Okay.
Squatch natural soap. Squatch natural soap. Real soap for real men. Or don't. And continue.
Alright. I think this is our I sound for Squish.
Continue.
It's gonna be tough. It sounds like Ginyu, you know, like Ginyu Force from Dragon Ball Z. Man, I feel like I'm dating myself every time I reference Dragon Ball Z in this stream. Yeah. And I really hope you actually have seen Dragon Ball Z and you know what I'm talking about. Let's see how this sounds. So there's an N, a very strong N here. Okay. Maybe I should stretch. What does it sound like stretched? It's tinny. Darn it. Alright, let's look for other sounds.
Continue to be mommy's little helper.
Little is too soft.
That's a wrap.
All right, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Did he click it yet?
Alright. So squish is impossible from this line. Let me just listen one more time.
Link for Dr. Squatch natural.
Oh wait, no!
The link for
What am I doing? This is incomplete. There is a word I can use. Click.
click the link.
There's an L in there. Maybe that's not a bad. That's not so bad though.
Click. 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 Click.
Let me see if I can get rid of the L by reversing it.
Ugh.
No. It sounds like ugh. I don't want ugh.
The link for Dr. Squatch natural soap.
All right, so it's all right. We'll put it on the in the back of our heads if we come across a, because he says Dr. Squatch natural soap for men several times, and there's gonna be another ad that we do here. So I'm not gonna use the tail end of this. This is just, you know, fluff plus the mic. There's a boom mic right here that is so making it really tricky to make anything out of. Although this,
When I heard about the dry, sad balls. Oof.
yeah, I don't see anything with that. Oh, maybe no, I can revisit it maybe, but either way. So let's get rid of this and start the process of utilizing the second ad. Yes, let's go right into it. Let's see. Right here is where it starts. Now, I don't think I've played this yet, but we're going to do exactly what we did with the other ad. We're going to work on it in pieces. Here we are.
Your underarms are under attack. Harsh deodorants are bullying your body.
Hang on. The quality is a little choppy from the buffering, but let's listen to that again.
Your underarms are under attack. Harsh deodorants are bullying your body and choking your pits.
Hold on. god, I heard something just now, and this is buffering so much that it's getting in the way. But let's see if maybe if I just zoom in a little bit more, stop the buffering from happening, because it's on preview auto.
Your underarms are under attack. Harsh deodorants are bullying your body and choking your pits.
Oh god, choking. Oh no. I did hear this, right? Oh god. You know, there's a mix that sticks out right then and there, and I have got to act on it.
See you later, nerd.
So, first, let's just take this. Oh my god. I'm wondering how in the world has the things looked at this yet? I mean, if she's taken requests at any time, this is prime the things material right here. I'm really anxious to see what she does with this. If Jonathan Lonathan is the things thing, then maybe this could be mine. Although Jonathan Lonathan has like hours of material. All right, let's finish off the cam.
Your underarms are under attack. Harsh deodorants are bullying your body and choking your pits.
Okay. Choking your pits.
Choking your pits.
That's just the first thing that stands out, and I need to make the obvious joke first.
Choking your pits.
So let's get that done. Let's just move these over here.
Choking your pit. 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 Choking your pit. Pit. Choking your. Choking your. Choking your.
Let's see how this sounds.
Picking. Ping. Choking your ping. Your ping.
You know, it kind of sounds like Pingus what I'm making. Because I took the ing and attached it to the P.
Pits.
Let's just shorten this.
Pits. 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 Pits.
Let's just make this a little smoother by getting rid of the T sound.
Pits. Pits.
There we go. Now, ping.
Choking your ping.
What I need is a G sound.
Your underarms are under attack. Harsh deodorants are bullying your body and.
See you later, nerd.
Let's see if we can find something a little further into the source.
Don't sweat it, Mike. I've got something that'll turn those bad pits into Brad pits. What's in the box?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Trash your old deodorant and give BO the boot with Dr. Squatch Natural Deodorant for Men. Featuring an odor squatching system tough enough to tame your manly musk all day long.
And there's Elon Musk. We can make Elon Musk out of that.
Scents that'll give you the most.
Okay, there's the G sound.
It'll give you the most.
Yeesh. Such buffering.
Scents that'll give you.
All I'm trying to do is pause it here. You know, I'm starting to come around on this guy. Starting to actually kind of like him. Okay.
It'll give.
Cut. And then let's plop it on to the end here. Paste.
Give. Your ping. Give.
Let's get rid of this so we can edit some of this out.
pingus. Choking your pingus. Choking your pingus.
I can't believe I just made that. Choking your pingus.
Choking your pingus.
Now, what do we attach this to? I mean, we could use the provided line. Those bad scents are choking your... But there must be something else. So let's keep this in the back of our... Let's keep this on the... right here, actually. Are we even in the right spot here? Yeah, we are. Okay. So let's get this cupped and added to the timeline, right? So moving it right here. Can't wait to see what becomes of it. All right, that's the first commercial. Then we can start. Let's just get rid of the first commercial. We can always re-add it to the timeline as we need to. But let's streamline things by moving this right on over. All right.
They're bullying your body and choking your pits.
See you later, nerd.
Don't sweat it, Mike. I've got something that'll turn those bad pits into Brad pits. What's in the box?
Let's just do a simple edit right here.
What's in the box?
All right, copy. And I'm just going to do some kind of edit with effects here. Okay, let's copy that. Add some echoes. Being careful not to make them too loud. There we go. And then some mirror effects. That'll do the job. Mirrors. All right, so let's see. Let's reflect to the right. And then we can work on the panning and cropping here. Then a little further to the north, because that way we can do the mirror reflection of the top to the bottom. Reflect top. There we go. So now it looks like, and sounds like, nice.
What's in the box?
All right.
Trash your old deodorant and give BO the boot with Dr.
You know, it's funny when he said like, "Give BO the boot." Like I kind of auto finished it in my mind, like get BO the fuck out. So let me just listen to that again. Hey, I'm back. Welcome back, Hercules.
BO the boot.
We are on the second ad. What do I miss? This is a new ad? Yes. So I tried working on the Squish and Squash, but there weren't any good voice lines from the sentences, any ones that could really be used in used from that sentence. But I did put in the back of my pocket, so to say, or keeping it in the back of my head. And I began working on this, and we've already got a couple of edits underway. So,
choking your pingus.
And
what's in the box?
So yeah, this ad is for the Dr. Squatch deodorant. I'll play it from the beginning so you have a fresh look, and you'll see right where up to where I am right now. Oh, Wyatt Brown, I've missed you. I've missed you too, Wyatt. Thank you so much for joining the stream. I do this just about every Monday. Although, oh gosh, I do have to make an update. I'm planning on moving the stream again, yes, but I'm planning on moving it to Saturday. So next week, it's going to be a Labor Day. I'm actually going to be out, but that is going to be a no stream day, and then I'll pick up right where I leave off on the Saturday after that. So also North Korean elves, yes, that was I think one of my favorite. Like that whole sequence from last week was amazing. So glad you were there to witness it for yourself, Wyatt. So we're taking a look at the second. We're taking a look at the second ad here.
Your underarms are under attack. The harsh deodorants are bullying your body and choking your pits.
See you later, nerd.
Don't sweat it, Mike. I've got something that'll turn those bad pits into Brad pits. What's in the box? Trash your old deodorant and give BO the boot with Dr.
So that's where I am right now. There's, let's see.
Trash your old deodorant and give BO the boot with.
I feel like this is the start for Get the Fuck Out. Like the way he starts the sentence.
Give BO the boot. Give the boot.
Give BO the boob, maybe, and you slow speech while he says it. Let's see what that's like. Excuse me. Slow it down just a smidge. Reversal, which will probably make it easier for boob. It's going to be like one of those sus jokes. Let's see what we're looking at. I'm just going to make some adjustments. Dr. Seuss, Doctor Who, Dr. Octopus. So, funny enough, Wyatt, we actually have Dr. Octopus in construction over here. Not here, but right here.
Otto.
Whoops.
Otto.
So, let me just make this.
Otto.
So, we have Octo, and we need to get a puss. Choking your pits, and you splice the image of the Persian messenger from 300 and the pit. Oh, and Ganon's the pit. Yes, so we got the 300 pit. We got Ganon's, not the pit. So let's see. The 300 one's going to require another download. Oh, wait, no, I don't need another download. I actually used the 300 joke earlier. Where is the clip? All right, since it's fresher on the mind, though, I'm going to do none to the pit, or not the pit.
Are under attack. The harsh deodorants are bullying your body and choking your pits. Choking your pits. And choking your pits.
Hell yeah, Doc Ock is in the game. Love me some Spider-Man memes. Yeah, I'm wearing a Spider-Man shirt for the stream, too. It's a little hard to see because it's not perfectly zoomed in. If I get a little closer, though, you can kind of see the Spider-Man faces along the webs. So, perfect night to make a Dr. Octopus joke, or a reference in this case.
And choking your pits. Are bullying your body and choking your pit.
So let's get.
And choking your pits. And choking.
Okay. Let's get Ganon's, not the pits.
The chain!
No, that's the chains. So what we need comes at the end.
No! Not in... Not in... Not into the pit! It burns!
Here we go. All right. Also, could you reference an old YouTube poop and have links? Laughing face on the sweaty armpit. You remember the SpongeBob YouTube poop where the guy pulls up his kilt and Link is there? Oh God. I think that was. Oh shoot. It was the Pretty Patties YouTube poop or something like that. That's from way back. I think that was the very first joke that was made in that poop even. And I think if memory serves, it was made by Cortez 3000. Could be wrong. It had the... Let's see. I remember... one thing I really remember was... The thumbnail was SpongeBob with those angry eyes. In the poop itself, he used a Tourette's guy. No! And... that was one of the jokes toward the very end. It was actually like the perfect thumbnail for that YouTube poop. So, having Link's laughing face on the sweaty armpit. Well, I'm doing something CDI-ish already. Not into the pit gets thrown into a book. Dane Worms, welcome to the stream. Good to have you on, my man.
Not into the pit! Not in...
All right, let's make not the pit.
Into the pit!
Let's trim this a little bit more.
The pit! Not the pit! The pit!
And the cool part is that we can... Oh, this is a interesting frame. Yep. Look what I got under my kilt.
Not the pit!
We can actually bounce this off of another joke here. I'm going to go into a little greater depth once I grab an S sound for Ganon. Yeah, Pride Patties. Thank you, Spy Hunter, and welcome to the stream. Yes, that was it. Pride Patties.
It burns!
It was a really good YouTube poop because one of my favorite jokes was the edits being made to Patrick's inflatable pants. Here we go. Like the very last joke in that YouTube poop was just a forward reverse of Patrick pulling the cord on his inflatable pants.
The pit!
Yeah, I'll just leave the pit. I'm taking notes on what you're doing so I can learn how to make YouTube videos. So far, no one is going to take my car videos seriously. Yeah, it's, so all I'm doing is kind of like, I'm probably not doing it in the most efficient way, but like everyone's going to have their own way of doing it. But if you're looking into car videos, yeah, definitely. I'd love to see what you put out. I'm a little bit of a, I'm semi-ish into cars, but if I see a Rolls-Royce Phantom, I'm gonna want to be in it.
Not the pit!
Here we go. Now we need to get this on the armpit. And for that...
And choking your pits.
Let's see, how much longer does this last? Let's do this. A simple reversal to make the clip feel like it's actually a little bit longer than it actually is. So, separate. And then I'm just gonna do, oh man, for this to work, I'm gonna need to do some more masking, but I don't think I need to do serious masking here. Just need to make a simple oval maybe would work as well. So let's go to the mask effects and start with a shape. And from that shape, we'll feather it. Well, first let's turn the mask on. Make this a negative mask. Perfect. And then feather it. Should we feather it out or in? Let's feather it in because you have this border right here. And then We still working on this, Dr. Squatch? Yes, we are, Plugsy. Welcome to the stream. We're actually on the second ad. There are 3 ads in total that I've pulled. And we have just started the second. There is a lot to go through. There's a lot of material for this source in general. So let's see here. Let's turn on the... Here we are. Let's see. Do I need to move this around some, or does it stay in place? No, it doesn't stay in place perfectly. So let's start from there and just focus on the first place that ends up. And again, don't need to do some serious mask editing here. Just some... I'm content with the oval. What about a random Nissan pickup with a cobbled together turbo kit for $500? I've had the footage since January, February. I just don't know how to begin or where. So, well, I mean, a Nissan pickup. Unfortunately, I don't know the first thing about, like working on vehicles, like mechanics and stuff. So I probably am not going to be able to appreciate a Nissan like that. So. Not to mention also, I'm not the biggest fan of pickup trucks. I almost always buy on safety. So, but still, if it's interesting, if you can make it interesting, you can make it interesting. I've seen Doug DeMuro make the most mundane looking cars seem really, really out there. So, yeah, I'd be interested if it could be made interesting. Also, as far as you don't know how to begin or where, start by writing. So, I do maybe like for some of my work, like one thing I do as a hobby is I do some writing for a couple of Reddit articles. I'm a big time Mets fan, so I actually put out this really long post on the Mets sub that people said I should just send straight to one of the Mets blogs. And like little things like that got me to make me hone my craft a little bit more. And I did a lot of writing for the old YouTube forums as well, because there was a news staff for articles and the like. So I did movie reviews, I did a lot of just random articles. So writing is the first step. That's what I would recommend, because it also gives you a chance to plot out what you can really talk about in your videos. If you go in without any kind of script, like with the intention instead of just winging it. I mean, people do that all the time, but I think if you're starting out, it's going to be a much better idea to, just go in with a script. Is there a way to focus the video on his pit, like say a zoom in a little and keep it centered on it? Also, Nissan now go, psh, yeah. All right. Well, since it's fresh in the mind, yeah, Nissan's not my preferred car. I know that they've had some legal troubles from a former CEO, but is there a way to focus on the pit, like zoom in a little and keep it centered on it? Yeah, so let me just copy paste this here so I can show you what I'm doing. So if you want to zoom in, keep in mind, I'm using Vegas. Every software has different ways of doing this. So if I want to zoom in, I can do it several ways. I can start from, the very beginning. I can zoom in, and when the clip appears, or when it starts, it will already have been zoomed in. So the focus is right there. I can also, let me just reverse this, or bring this back to where it was before. So assuming that this is where the camera is, if I want to have the camera pan in, then anchors are going to be a friend. So down here, you'll see position and you'll see mask. Position refers to where you see this box right here. This is essentially the camera frame. So if I move my slider right here, it's referring to this position in the timeline. And let me just turn this on. So you'll notice that as I move the slider, the clip progresses. So right here in the timeline, let's say that I want to have the camera, which is this rectangle right here, hand in on this stain. So what I do is, and you can see right here, there is some diagonal arrows. I'm going to click, drag, and make it smaller. Almost like what you would do if you were editing a shape in Microsoft Paint. And there you go. So what happens is, from here, it's zoomed out. But here, it's zooming in, and then it's, oops, and then it stays focused on the remainder of the clip. Are we putting Ganon's face there? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. In fact, we're putting Ganon's face in frame like so. Let me just get rid of this clip so we can get this here. Now, again, this is a small hole and it's moving, so let's get it right. The positioning. Yes, right there. Now, the hole is moving and Ganon's face goes from left to right, excuse me. So let's see. So what I'm going to do here is just move Ganon right here. I think he does, yeah, he does a little bit more moving. Perfect. And then we can have the clip just end right there. I'll just shrink it down here. There we have it. So Ganon says,
Not the pit.
And he appears in the pit. Now, we also have an opportunity to bounce off of this and turn it into another joke. Again, he says Brad Pitt later on. There is probably another way that we can go about this.
I've got something that'll turn those bad pits into Brad Pitts.
Let's see.
Into Brad Pitts.
Okay.
Into
right here, the little sword swing sound effect. Perfecto. So what I'm thinking here, and we're going to get to the, let's see. We're going to get to a 300 reference later as well. Let me just write that down so I don't forget it. 300 reference with pits. Let's go right back here and paste this in. Honestly, it would be funny if he also says it burns.
Not the pit.
That would work. So what I can do here then is I might just be able to stretch this. If I stretch it, how does the mask operate? Does it? All right, that's good.
pits.
Not the pit.
It burns.
The pit. It burns. It burns.
Right there. I think this is a bit long, so I'd have to...
It burns. Pit. It burns.
So I'll position Ganon's face right here. Yeah, with the guy already dressed like a Greek warrior, a 300 reference definitely feels right. I wonder if there is a way that I can superimpose... I can superimpose him off the... getting kicked into the pit. Let me just put a slash right here. Superimpose and pose over Sparta kick. Kick. Okay. All right. Let's do as much as we can here. So we have Ganon's face right here, and then we have to pull this. Oh, looks like we gotta extend the length of this a little bit more. So let's just do a simple reversal. If I'm reversing, that means I need to adjust the position of each of these markers. So what are we looking at here? We've got how many? It looks like a whole bunch are stacked on top of each other. Oh, just 2. That's not so bad. So, let's take a look at what we've got here. I'll just move these here and just pull this over here like so. And right about here, and then I'll take this one. This probably isn't the... Oops. Looks like some of them got duplicated. No biggie. Alright, let's try that again. Oh no, they're not duplicated. It's multiple masks on top of each other. Interesting. Alright, let's see what we got. If we reverse, how does... Yeah, that's good. That's good enough. The focus is going to be on Ganon all throughout, so... Let's get this right. And we can always edit after the fact. Perfect. Okay. So Ganon's face is right there. But... There we go. Perfecto. Let's keep his face in that pit. Right.
It burns! Not the pit, it burns!
Nice. And then we can get our 300 scene, which is here somewhere. Maybe it's at the top. 300, this is Sparta. Boom. So what we need to do is grab the part where he's kicked into the pit, which is this. Let's push all this down. You know, it's absolutely amazing how much more material I have to work with than Velma. Oh my god. What an experience Velma was. Okay. Now, let's see. It'll just lay on top, and here's Gerard Butler just doing the motions, the tough guy thing. You could tell this is just... I wonder if Zack Snyder knew how much this was going to be loved on the internet. I'll tell you right now, he definitely knew it was going to be an impactful scene from the way he filmed it. Alright, let's get a proper zoom in because we have black borders here and we have the movie clips thing, and we don't need that. Get that right. There we go. We are also zooming into the movie a little bit, but that's okay because this is usually how, sometimes this is how the movie has appeared on live TV, because the format that you see with the black borders, that's typically theatrical format, and the theater screens are much, much wider than your standard television screen. In fact, what they fit a little bit more, if I could find it, I don't have it, are smartphone screens, because nowadays smartphone screens perfectly mimic the aspect ratio that theater screens have. So in some ways, they are almost perfect for something like a movie like this. Okay. Let's go right to it. So let's get the kick. This is the first frame of said kick. And I've made this joke on one of my very first YouTube poops, where I actually have Ganon saying, "Not into the pit, it burns," as this guy's falling into the pit. Like, for context, how old that is 2007 December. It was in a YouTube poop I made called, it was YouTube Poop Tennis, Eddie Can't Do a Quadruple Kickflip. One of my favorite tennis matches, and one of my favorite tennis rounds, because it had so many jokes that I love. Still love to this day. I think it was just brilliantly paced. So, we have the guy, Brad Pitt.
Into Brad Pitt's.
So I have a really good way that we can transition this.
Choking your pits.
So we're going to take voice line.
Those bad pits? Something that'll turn those bad pits?
There we go. Turn those bad pits into Brad Pitts. That's what we're going to do. That's how we're going to transition it. Right.
Turn those bad pits?
Not the pit.
Turn those bad pits?
Not the pit. It burns.
Into Brad Pitts.
I like this. It's going to have a very nice joke. So. So let's edit. Let's get this out. And we're going to need to do some more masking. We're going to need to get this pose out. But it'll be well worth it.
The pit. It burns.
Oops. Okay. So getting this out. In fact, I think the best way we should do is speed up with a little bit of a higher pitch shift. So switch this to classic, lock to stretch, and a little bit of that.
It burns! No! Not into the pit! Into the pit! It burns! Not in...
I'm just going to get rid of into. I wanted him to say the same thing that he said before.
To the pit! To the pit! To the pit! Not the pit! It burns!
There we go. There we go. In fact, actually, I think I should maybe use a little bit of this sound effect in the background, especially the kick. So let's get the kick back. If we can. So let's just go to the end here. This is blasphemy. This is madness. This is Sparta. Okay. Let's just get... This This movie was made for Zack Snyder. Limited time off, 50% back to school. Gasp. What a bargain. I already graduated. Alright, let's get this right back in here. The kick sound. So let's separate this from its... Let's put it right down here. Let's have it start a little sooner. Why are they in front of a giant pit anyways? Is this just ancient Greece and their giant pits? Then we're just going to lower this, but I'm going to stretch it so that... Let's see. Still a little too loud. Okay. Let's just get these all equal to their spots. Now, let's see. I need to... This guy's robed. He's got a lot of robes on. If we can find the right... I think this is the most ideal, the best pose we're going to get here. Everything else might be blurred by the action on the camera. Final history fact. Did you know that many of the great quotes from 300 actually come from Herodotus's ancient book on the war? Like our arrows will blot out the sun, then we'll fight in the shade. I did not know that. It's interesting because it's an extremely poetic line. I would not have guessed that it was real because of how poetic it was, but if it works, it works. All right. Let's just do Greek. That's pretty interesting. I wonder what else was true according to Herodotus's writings. All right, so begins our masking here. Let's make this happen. So we're going to have to... Let's turn this off for now. So, for how dramatic and epic it is, the Spartans were genuinely famous for their one-liners. The Greeks had a way with... Well, I guess the Spartans... Because Greeks and Spartans different. They had a way with language, I guess. Interesting. Alright, let's get the entire helmet, including all this red. I'm really going to have to be delicate with this, although it is going to be just a little bit on the... A little bit on the careful side. So we have the sword. Let's get a zoom in here so that we can try and be as accurate as possible with this. Fix that up. And then get on down here and make our masking borders around the hand. The hand I could just do that with. Oh no, the pommel. The pommel of the sword. Can't forget that. So, all in all, what you're saying, Hercules, is that all of those one-liners from the movie are probably what the Spartans would have said. Interesting. I wonder how they would have said it. Would it have been with that fortitude that Gerard Butler sounds it off with? Or would it be entirely different? I mean, the Spartans were great warriors, so... Alright, almost there. They had to shell out for this costume, and it only gets used a couple times in this ad. I wonder if someone ever just had it lying around. Alright, that's not clean, but we can edit that later. His feet don't appear, but I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem. Alright, so these belt buckles, I'm not gonna bother with them. I just want to get maybe this one. Okay. Now, let's get up this side of the leg. Then let's get this sheath. Just right. Getting the arm past the elbow. We're almost there. Hey, what's going on, Mini Colored Journal? Hey, Cap, what's going on in here? Not much. We are on the second ad of the Dr. Squatch series, and we are making another 300 joke. I had a funny feeling you'd be on pretty soon. Glad you were able to come on. Absolutely, there's even a term for it. Iconic phrases. Even the most famous "Tonight we dine in hell" is from the history book. Wow. Which is interesting because it doesn't feel like something that comes from history, but there you have it. Maybe a third arm on the other side of the hip. Well, maybe, but let me show you what we are working on in just a sec. So we are superimposing this over the Spartan kick. And then we are going to just get this adjusted so that he falls in the same fashion as this Persian man. Okay. Let's do this. And we'll probably have to make him swivel a little bit more to one side. Especially because you have this in the foreground, so I want to be mindful of that. Patch's London Adventure. Alright, now. I think that'll do. I won't worry about this until I actually have to. So, the Gerard Butler character kicks and it's falling. Alright, so that's going to take some It's going to take some positioning that this stream is going to be really difficult to do because we got to get everything adjusted. But for the most part, here is what we have done. Just some simple mixing and some masking to go along with it.
Turn those bad pits
Not the pit, it burns!
into Brad pits.
Not the pit, it burns!
That's a joke I think I would have made in 2012, so it's timeless. Have you ever heard of Euphoria at all? That's a show I'm watching. I've heard of it. I know Zendaya is on it. I've not seen an episode of it. I just know that it's really, really popular. I probably should check it out. I'm a big fan of Zendaya's. Like, I feel like when it comes to Disney stars that have really done a great job moving past the Disney Channel series of shows, Zendaya has so scarcely been talked about. But she's really good. She's really good in Spider-Man, and she was in Dune, of course, and I think that her role in Dune 2 is part 2, I should say, is going to be a lot more interesting. Maybe even make a Luigi kick reference in Hotel Mario, even if subtly, or just replace the Luigi kick from this, or rather the kick sound effect from the scene with the Luigi kick. Let's see if I have Hotel Mario. I should have Hotel Mario. It's probably going to be in the YTP folder. Hotel Mario. Euphoria is mildly good so far. Okay, that's good because it's an HBO show, and I don't know any HBO show that's really been bad, so to say. Oh, actually, no. I guess Velma is technically an HBO show or some kind of Max show. Either way. But that's an animated series. I think maybe it was made for HBO Max, or Max as it's now called. Alright, so Luigi kicking the box sound effect. Let's plop this in and just grab it. More fleshed out than it is, but at least it covers edgy topics interestingly. Okay. I've got to get caught up on my TV. I recently canceled my Netflix, and that was, it was long overdue because I just didn't find a lot of Netflix shows appealing, with some exceptions, but I just had to finish Better Call Saul. I'm very well behind when it comes to watching a lot of shows, but in a sense it kind of makes me feel good knowing that I'm checking it out, well, after all the hype has died down, because with shows like The Walking Dead, as I understand, fans were really disappointed in how the show progressed. And speaking as someone who watched Game of Thrones and kept up with it, and including that final season, I do not want to go through that experience again. So, if Euphoria is good, that's great. I hope it ends well as well, because that seems to be a problem that a lot of shows have, ending well. So, yeah, if Euphoria is good, I'll check it out for sure. I just got a huge backlog of shows I gotta catch up on. I like that sound effect. Let's cut that. Are there any kids fiction characters you would be okay with making uncharacteristically obnoxious and edgy, unlike Velma? Well, I think Velma's problems go beyond it being edgy or attempting to be edgy. Its problems was that it just wasn't written well. I'm not talking about the humor by itself as well. I'm talking more about the way that the characters were made out to be. They didn't feel like humans. So, I mean, if we're talking about like a little bit more of an edgy Scooby-Doo, or maybe even a more natural, mature Scooby-Doo, that is totally possible. And I would be all for something like that. Yep, the Luigi kick sound effects. But as far as the... Here we go. Let's just put this right down here. kick happens. If there's any other show besides Scooby-Doo, though, let's see. That complements it so well. Let's see if I get. I just need to make sure it's timed right. A little later. Okay, so shows that were mainly for kids and the like that I would be interested in seeing a little bit more of an edgy outlook on. To me, a good journey more than makes up for a lousy ending. Samurai Showdown and Ranma Ranma and Half are great, but they never really got satisfying endings. Oh, silly me, I'm sleepy. No worries. Samurai Jack. Okay. Well, Samurai Jack, there was a huge gap in between the ending of the show and the hiatus that it took. I don't know if it was considered a hiatus or it was just canceled, but when it finally returned to Adult Swim, I mean, it felt like the ending that it got was the ending that it needed. I mean, Jack needed to take out Aku. Simple as that. I mean, they couldn't prolong it, but it felt more like a show, like the adult version of Samurai Jack to conclude it. It felt like it was made out of need than want. I mean, fans were clamoring to know how it, or if Jack would be able to go to the past and defeat Aku, and he did. I mean, I would say spoiler alert to that, but it's extremely well known. It's, you know, like the ending of Citizen Kane or something like that, where everyone knows the ending. But to that point, hey, what's going on, Galestrom? What is going down? Oh, Captain, my Captain, no worries. You're perfectly fine. You're perfectly fine. I'm back. I didn't get my Ursa hat. I got the Gabe Newell announcer pack. No worries. Hey, you missed out. Oh, man. Well, still, hope you get it next. I hope you get a chance to get that next time. Oh, man. But yeah, Galestrom, welcome to the stream. President of Pluto, welcome back. But yeah, to your question, is there a show that I would like to see a little bit more of an edgy take on that was intended for kids? I think Scooby-Doo would be the main one because it just seems like the perfect candidate. Film was just a bad version of it. So, moving on, and by the way, Galestrom, we're on the second ad.
With Dr. Squatch Natural Deodorant for Men. Featuring an odor squatching system tough enough to tame your manly musk all day long. And
So, I heard Musk, and the first thing that I heard was Elon Musk. So, let's just grab Musk and plop it over here.
System tough enough to tame your manly musk.
Strong enough to tame Elon Musk. I wonder if there's another thing that can be done with that, too. Oh yeah, the Percy Jackson book, The Son of the Stars book, I love despite its climax sucking and being resolved too quickly, yeah. As far as, you know, everything being resolved too quickly, I think that's a problem that happens with a lot of anime. Like, it's a huge problem that I have with the first season of Sword Art Online. I felt like it was concluded so quickly that none of my questions were answered, or at least satisfyingly answered. And it didn't feel like it was an intended ending. It just felt like they hit the episode limit and they needed to rush to the rest. Of course, taming your Elon Musk is a requirement. Yep.
Musk.
So let's get the Elon in there. Where can we get the Elon from?
Deodorant for
My musk isn't manly. It's just bad. Well, maybe this is the product for you, President of Pluto.
For men. Featuring an odor squat. Feature.
The E sound is good, but it's not long enough. Very end of the Sun of the Stars, good. Actually, the climax is the problem more. Ooh, okay. Okay, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, I've run into a couple books like that.
Featuring an odor squatching system tough enough to tame your manly musk all day.
Well, maybe manly.
Your manly musk.
What happens if we reverse that? Elongated musk. Ooh, that's good.
Milan.
He sounds really nasally saying this.
Milan.
Wow, that is really nasally. My atmosphere is methane. What do you expect? Elongated musk. That's a great play on words. Unnatural deodorant. Ooh, yeah, just a simple mix right there. Let's see. Let's go right back to natural.
Bad pit. Odor squatching system tough. Trash your old deodorant and give BO the boot with Dr. Squatch Natural Deodorant for Men. Featuring an with Dr. Squatch with Dr. Squatch with Dr. Squatch Natural Deodorant for Men.
We'd have to edit this a little bit, but that's good. Still, we've got some good stuff here. Let's make unnatural, and I think that's going to be easy with another voice line that we've got here. Let's just push these over real quick. Let's see here. Where was that line? I believe it was the line that we used for octopus earlier, or part of octopus.
Octo.
Nah, that's not going to work. So we need an actual un sound. So we'll put... I'm going to write this down because we've got about 25 minutes left in the stream. Searching for voice lines is probably going to be relatively unproductive than compared to moving forward. So let's just say unnatural deodorant. There's a manga called Blue Dragon. Not that one. I'm guessing you mean the game. That was canceled after 25 chapters that could have crossed continents. Instead, chapter 25, they beeline 1,000 miles and curb stomp the main enemy? What? Good golly gosh. Definitely ran out of time for that one. Maybe make Zelda item get theme because the chest is open. Ooh, that's a good thought. That's a good thought. Do I have time to download that? Yeah, I've got time to download that. I'm going to pull up my... This is the first download. Blue Dragon was also illustrated by the Death Note artist, so in every way that was an unsatisfying ending. Man. Or you can say elongated musket and Photoshop Elon Musk's head on a Civil War musket. I think, yeah, you're right. There are options. We can go with all of the options. We can do Elon Musk, remind me later, elongated musk, and elongated musket. We can do all three of them. Let me write that down. Or we could just go do Elon Musk and elongated musket. Musket. Oh shoot, I was spelling it M-U-S-C-A-T, like the capital of Oman. M-U-S-K-E-T. Yeah, there's a lot of room for Elon Musk manipulation here. Come on. Oh, right, I have to paste the link. So, what we need to do is get Zelda chest opening sound. Ocarina of Time. Yeah, we can place that in here. There we go. Let's get out of YouTube real quick so it doesn't slow the stream down. Elongated musket is great and subverts the expectation of only seeing one Elon Musk. Yeah, I mean, sometimes simple jokes are great, but if you can expand upon the simple jokes, it makes it so much better. I need some water. Hopefully that is enough to sustain me for the rest of the stream. Well, we got 22 minutes left, so let's grab our sound effect here. Elongated musket. I wonder if anyone's ever done Elon Musk like that. Elongated musket. Okay. So let's go to Dr. Squatch here. And what we need is the Zelda Ocarina of Time opening chest sound effect. It's only 20 seconds, so in fact we could just use the tail end of that sound effect here. Wait, is this it? Is it just this? There we go. Just the right volume too. Don't need to do a lot of touching up on this.
With Dr. Squatch natural deodorant for men.
So, we've got that. We got unnatural deodorant that we can work with. But let me just see how this is. Good length right here. It's a good Zelda reference. Get rid of this, of course. Maybe replace his nipples with round Dr. Squatch symbols when he's shirtless. What is the Dr. Squatch symbol? Oh, that's the Dr. Squatch symbol. Might be a little excessive, but let's see when we get a chance to see him shirtless. Oh god, I just got an idea. Elongated musket. Have one of the Monty Python trumpets come in from the side and shoot a Looney Tunes puff of smoke that cuts to revealing Daffy with his beak backwards. Oh, okay, let me see here. Alright, let me just take a second to visualize that. So, elongated musket, have one of the Monty Python trumpets come in from the side. Cuts to revealing... using the trumpet as a makeshift musket. Okay. I see where you're coming from. So, I'm trying to think. Elongated musket. In this instance, is the trumpet the musket? Or do we have a musket out? Or... So, we could have that joke elsewhere in the video. I don't know how it ties in to the elongated musket that we create. But still, I'm curious to see how that look. Yeah, Looney Tunes references are always great. So it would require a lot of masking. We just need the Monty Python trumpet, the blast from the gun, and we can pull that from YouTube because a lot of Looney Tunes cartoon skits and clips are on YouTube. Let me just write this down. Okay, this is going to be a long one. Have Monty Python trumpet or horn, whichever, enter from side and blow off Daffy's face, or blow Daffy's beak backwards. Daffy's. Okay. I think it's cool you're a vegetarian. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, once you know your substitutes, once you can break certain habits, it's not that difficult. I'm on a restaurant fast right now to save money, but for health too. Nice, good. Yeah, because a lot of restaurants, like fast food restaurants especially, and even some fast casuals, are gonna really have a ton of sugar in there, and carbs also for that matter. Like Subway, for example, you'd think Subway would be healthy, but it's loaded to the brim with salt in the bread, so you're gonna fall asleep just from eating half a sandwich. So if you can go to a lot more natural, actual food, it's gonna do you a lot better. I'm gonna place a cap about how much I spend on restaurants. $35. 135 for 4 months. So essentially, you'd be spending 4 months, 135 divided by 4. You're looking at about $43 and some change. Well, if you could do that, that's great. I'm sure that, you know, it's possible depending on where you live. More possible depending on where you live. I like how it can transition the Elon Musk joke into a Looney Tunes joke. Yeah, just adding more layers on top of more layers. It's got a whole bunch of different applications that would work. Good thing I wrote it down as well. I'm not going to be able to do something like that in the 15 minutes I've got in the stream. So let's move forward. There's a video called Rabbit Season, Duck Season Trilogy that, yes, that's where I remember those blasts on Daffy's face coming through. There's even a segment of the Looney Tunes movie Back in Action where that actually happens.
System tough enough to...
So lots of options there.
With Dr. Squatch Natural Deodorant for Men. Featuring an odor squatching system tough enough to tame your musk.
That would be about $34 a month. Oh, did you say for the last 4 months? Oh, you're right. I did say 40. I was thinking 3 months. I was doing the math wrong. It's getting to be late, so sometimes I have the numbers mixed up. But yeah, about $34 per month. Might take a 1 month restaurant fast. It would be like 45. Okay.
All day long. And scents that'll give you the most popular pits in town. Want to smell like a mountain?
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Try Alpine Sage. Want to smell like a waterfall? Splash Fresh Falls. Want to smell like a sexy pirate drunk on your own scent? Boom. Bay Rum, we've got you.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go with what's freshest on the mind right now.
Boom. Bay Rum, we've got... We've... Like a sex... Want to smell like... Try Alpine...
Okay, let's...
Like a mountain? Give you the most popular pits in town. Want to smell like a...
Yeah, want to smell like weed is probably going to be the first joke I make from this sequence. Oh man, Five Guys burgers prices. Yeah, there's you know, one thing I will say about certain restaurants that you go to. I mean, you do get good value from the food that you pay for. Sometimes a non-Taco Bell Tex-Mex restaurant can give you some really good options. But what else? Something that's really filling would be great.
Want to smell like a...
Here we go. I only hear him saying weeb. I think if we remove the B sound, it will be more prominent. So let's see.
Want to smell like weeb. Weeb. Weave. Weave. Want to smell like weave. Smell like weave. Want to smell like weave.
A little bit too much. Then.
Want to smell like weave.
There we go. Oh God, want to smell like weeb. Does it really sound like weeb? Like I was aiming for weed, but we could do weeb or you know I forget how it's pronounced. Like is it weebo or something like that? Or no, I'll just do weeb. Five Guy prices $99.99 for a burger, $14 million for the milkshake. Yeah. Whew, unfortunately, all prices are getting higher with fast casual places.
Want to smell like weed.
I'm trying to think of a good fast casual place that you can get a decent bang for the buck for. This place is just the prices. Yeah, I mean, a lot of burger places are really going to be expensive because they throw in a ton. Let's see. pizza like fast food pizza tends to be junk food, but actually, of course, like depending on where you are, pizza can be a really good value. The bigger the pizza you get, the better the value it is. So, and that is actually really, really good for you, much better than fast food pizza. So don't feel guilty about ordering a large pie and then having it in the fridge most of the time. Especially for me, I love pizza cold. Well, I love cold pizza. I also love hot pizza, but I'm not going to microwave it. It just doesn't taste right. Maybe Jonathan Lonathan can help me with that. Weeabo, but now everyone says Weeb, and Visual Cue will nail it. Yep. Domino's Pizza is pretty crafty with some of their deals, but their pizza it's loaded with salt. So if you're doing it for dietary reasons, it's not going to be your best bet. But damn, they do get aggressive with their deals. Weeb would be hilarious. Yeah, let's do both. Let's just write this down. Weeb and weed. $5.55 for one medium, one topping pizza. If you buy 3, yeah. Make him say amazing forever with the old. Hey, what's going on? Oh, by the way, Black and White Man Spartan, welcome. Make him say smell amazing forever with the new old sis. Let's see, let me get to the voice line where he says that.
Like a sexy pirate drunk on your own scent? Boom. Bay rum? Musk all day long. And scents that'll give you the most popular pits in town. Wanna smell like a mountain? Try Alpine Sage. Wanna smell like a waterfall? Splash Fresh Falls. Wanna smell like a sexy pirate drunk on your own scent? Boom. Bay rum? We've got you. Click the link to ace your scent with Dr. Squatch. All right, class.
Okay. I smell forever with the old sis. I'm trying to remember. Do you know where in the ad he said that, Spartan? I'm trying to find it. Well, I just listened to this section and didn't have it. If it came before, let me know. Okay, we got 10 minutes left in the stream. Let's see. I could expand. Oh, boom! Ad explodes. There's probably going to be an explosion opportunity for that. I don't want to. Let's see. Don't want to limit the options, but he says boom often in the first ad. In the first ad as well, he says boom. These scents, just like he does here. I guess that's one thing that sticks with these types of commercials. Oh yeah, frozen $6 pizza. Gosh darn it, Galestrom, you're a genius. Yeah, frozen pizza tends to be better value than takeout pizza too. Olive oil, kosher salt, cracked pepper, garlic, and onion across the frozen crust when it's turned over. Yes. Completely forgot because there's so many deals on frozen pizza that it's almost ridiculous to offer that over fast food pizza nowadays. The only reason I don't is because I don't have a working oven. I have one of those tiny little air fryers, and I haven't really set aside any time or money to get a replacement oven. But, it is what it is. Pirate drunk on your old... Ooh, semen. Ooh, naughty jokes. Yeah, that is a naughty, naughty joke.
With Dr. Squatch, popular pits in town. Wanna smell like a mountain? Try Alpine Sage. Wanna smell like a waterfall? Splash Fresh Falls. Wanna smell like a...
Ooh, there's also...
Wanna smell like a sexy pirate drunk on your own scent? Boom. Bay rum? We've...
I wonder if there's something else that we could do. I kind of feel like wanna smell like a skunk is also a possibility. Maybe make that shirtless guy raised hand. Hold on. Hand raised hand. Oh, the guy with the hand raised. Say yes to every question. Okay. And you're saying boom spiked my volume and triggered my speaker protection. Oh god, did it really do that? Like, they are very pronounced boom sound effects. Alright, let's see. Let's focus on what we can in the 7 minutes we've got.
Like a sexy pirate drunk on your own... Wanna smell like a sexy pirate drunk on your own scent? Boom. Bay rum? We've got... We've got.
Let's just do some mixing here.
We've got.
Whoops. Let's see. I'm going to reverse this to see how long I can stretch this E sound.
You.
No, it's turning into a W. Interesting. So I don't reverse forward. I want to reverse back. Or stretch it, at least.
View. View. We've. Around C.
There we go. And then men. Men is going to be easy to find. If the narrator or the spokesperson here does not say the word men in this ad, I'm going to eat my pants.
With Dr. Squatch natural deodorant for men.
Men. There you have it.
For men. Men. Men.
Just plop it in. And if we don't get a clean version of men, it's fine. We'll find a cleaner version. Because there's some, heavenly singing over this.
Pirate drunk on your own sea.
The C is a little bit off, but we can correct that with a better E down the line.
Your own sea man. Your own sea man.
There we go. Just the word semen. And then I want to see if I can get skunk.
Send. Boom. Bay rum.
Another pair of pants saved. Exactly correct. Okay, so let's see if I can make skunk. He says rum here, and it might work substituting the M for the N. Probably best joke I've seen. This is, out of curiosity, did you come up with it yourself, or was it building on my idea? It's funny. Yeah, it's a really good joke. It's one that can probably help, stand out just from the simplicity of the sentence mixing here. Okay.
See man. Boom.
Okay, let's get this copied and that pasted on.
Wanna smell like a Wanna smell like a Smell like a
And we get a K sound. I've already mentioning it, but that shot of the guy looking all content in the foreground as the woman pulls back with a knowing smile ripe for, many things. We can probably explore some of those things in the next stream, because when we manipulate like that, there's just going to be so many masking opportunities.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Send.
Yeah, both like Hercules, Journal, you both have some really good ideas, and I love the way that you contribute to the stream. Galestrom, you have some really good ideas as well. Don't think that I'm leaving you out here. I need a K.
Add pits?
Not the pit.
There's a K sound. I know that I made it in octopus.
Octo.
Now I wonder if it's going to be perfect for skunk. Okay.
Wanna smell like a
Maybe. Let's put it down here. Although it sounds like it. Okay.
Gotcha.
Let's see how it comes out. If this doesn't work, we need to get a K-U-N sound. Boom, come, we got it.
Like a sum. A stump.
This is a very sharp K sound.
Stump.
Let's dim it.
Stump. A stump.
Make this a little bigger.
Stump.
Ooh, Bacom or Babe. Oh, good thinking. Journal. Okay. I gotta write that down. Turn rum into cum. Out of context, that sounds terrible. It's a good thing that there is context.
Wanna smell like a stump?
Okay, let's dim this, or at least have it fade.
Stump. A stump.
There we go. Want to smell like a skunk, and then immediately JonTron. What the? Oh, I think I know that clip. JonTron. What the? Yeah, we could do something like that. Oh man, the skunk line can lead into so many different things. It's 10 o'clock. Oh man, I wish I had time to add all of these. Like, I had to write down so much in just the past half hour, but my golly, we've got a lot that we need to do. So, man, guys, thank you so much for being part of this stream once again. So, once again, I mentioned it earlier, but just in case. So we're going to be moving the streams to a different day, Saturday, but not the coming Saturday, the Saturday after. This Monday, which is Labor Day, I will not be streaming, so that means that my next stream won't be until a week and a half later, but I think Saturday is going to provide a lot better options for streaming days. I'll keep you all posted on the channel. I'll make an announcement as to the particular times. It's definitely going to stay to the 3-hour mark because this seems to be the best amount of time that we've got. This is your chance to work with Billy Mays. Yeah, sure. Sure is. I mentioned, like, from the start, I definitely want to work with Billy Mays. Oh, wait. Oh, I see what you mean. Oh. You're saying skunk. You can have the Billy Mays clip where he says, a real live skunk. Shoot. Let me write that down quick. Billy Mays. Real life. Oh my god. That is perfect. Alright, so what will the September schedule be roughly? So for the September schedule, the Saturday after Labor Day is when I return, and that's going to be every Saturday, unless otherwise said. Thanks for indulging the idiocy. Absolutely. Hey, it's not idiocy. It's genius as far as I'm concerned. All right. So good. Saturday will work with the schedule. Great. Yeah, I kind of figured that Saturday would be a lot easier on everybody because it was actually my wife's idea to stream on Saturdays instead. It's just that sometimes weeknights can be a little bit easier. But yeah, the streams are going to be on Saturdays from here on forth. Should be a perfect opportunity for people who have been able to check out the Monday night streams to do so now because it's not cutting into the next day workday. So this will be perfect. So once again, let me just pull up the old calendar here. So the next stream, according to this, September 9th. So September 9th is the next stream. I'll make an announcement so that the days get posted. Guys, you have a wonderful, wonderful Labor Day weekend. And, I know it's a little bit early, but one of my favorite Homestar Runner jokes is today, board day, is Labor Day. So be sure to check out some Homestar Runner cartoons in the meantime. It's a perfect way to celebrate, especially if you do have that day off. Your wife had a good idea. Absolutely. She has a ton of really good ideas. She gets me a lot of really good shirts, too. In fact, the Spider-Man shirt is something that she got for me. Plus, most of my wardrobe. Lincoln says, I will corrupted words from YouTube. Oh, man. I'm liking this content so far. I'm glad you are. I'm looking to see what else I can do with this. I mean, I've thought about live streaming, like me playing games, just like almost everybody else does on, Twitch. Might actually give me an excuse to dip into the Steam games I haven't played, but it's just not the, I just don't think I have the computer for that because it slows down quite a bit, but maybe I can find another way. September 9th is one of my friends' birthdays. Well, I hope they have a happy birthday. So guys, see ya. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the night, and I'll look forward to hanging out with y'all on September 9th. See y'all.